Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an excellent show in store for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Lakers once more. They're the hottest topic in the NBA. Yeah, there's some other things, but to be honest with you guys, I'm really enjoying this. So I said, hey, let's just keep it going and see how long it can keep going. Our viewers seem to love it. So, hey, let's keep talking about it. So, as you guys know, going into last night's game against the Atlanta Hawks, the Lakers had lost by an average of 35 points over the last two games. The game before that, they lost by 41 points. So that was an absolute embarrassment. Even caused Laker legend Magic Johnson to come out there and make a comment and said, this is not Lakers basketball. This is embarrassing, all of that, right? So going into last night's game against the Atlanta Hawks, the Lakers had some pressure on them. They did, right? Even though they were the more talented team, they were still playing with pressure, given the fact how they've been playing over their recent stretch and losing in the fashion that they did. So going into that game, the Lakers definitely came out with more concentration, although they were still making their usual blunders and boneheaded moves throughout the game, and it became a very entertaining game. I was actually splitting my time between that game and the Boston Celtics Milwaukee Bucks game. So when I saw that the Celtics game was pretty much decided late in that fourth, I tuned over to the Lakers game, and it was just kind of seesaw back and forth, and then the game ended up going to overtime, and there were just some boneheaded plays that happened out there on the behalf of the Lakers. And they kept on giving the Atlanta Hawks, opportunity after opportunity. And then ultimately, the Atlanta Hawks were able to capitalize on some of the mistakes that the Lakers made. And then Trae Young got open for a three-pointer, which pretty much iced the game, and he ended up winning. So in the aftermath of that, we did a live. My phone is going off. People are like, yo, did you see what happened with this? Did you see what happened there? Did you see JJ Redick's press conference? Did you see his press conference? It was a word salad. I'm like, no, I didn't. So let me check out JJ Redick's press conference and see what the hell he said after the Lakers lost that game. And boy, oh boy, did JJ Redick not disappoint. He sat up there and said a bunch of nothing. And as he was talking, you could really see that the reality of the situation was beginning to settle in on him. Like, it was beginning to dawn on him that all that talking that I did on television, I was there criticizing Doc Rivers and all of these things. He was really starting to realize, like, oh my God, it's a lot harder to coach than it seemed like when I was just up there flapping my gums all over the place and criticizing the coaching jobs that other coaches were doing. So this is the sound that we really want to get into today. But before we even get into what JJ Redick had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. With the year almost over, I am super excited about creating memories with family and friends by attending various plays, theater shows, and sporting events. And when it comes time to look for tickets, Game Time is my go-to. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time saves me money, time, and stress. It finds the best deals and guarantees that the tickets are legit, and it makes sure that the tickets are delivered to me on time. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It cuts through the fluff and shows you the best deals on great seats near you so you don't waste time searching. For example, I'm really looking forward to this upcoming NBA game between the Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers. Here's what I like to do. First, I select an all-in price to see the total ticket price up front, so I'm not surprised by the additional fees at checkout. Next, I click on Game Time Picks to check out their curated deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play some of the sound of what JJ had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to JJ Redick here.
JJ, it did seem like you got the response from energy, competitive standpoint, but it is the late game execution, or is there frustration kind of shades from the Orlando game? How do you put all that together?
Different type scenario than the Orlando game, but certainly frustrated with late game execution. Turnover. Braun makes a great play to get the block. Wasn't exactly the right sort of angles and screening that we had sort of done many times, in practice, one of our end game, get the ball in plays. And I think the concern when you run that is when AD comes back towards half court, that's not what you want ideally, because then he's sort of in a trappable spot versus catching it in the middle of the floor. And then, they did a good job just in pursuit of the basketball on the jump ball. And then, I don't know if it was the communication or whatnot, but, we messed up the red with Trae Young. Left him open, so.
So are you wanting to blitz him there to get the ball out of his hands ideally, or?
It was discussed with the group. Yeah, no, we weren't. It was just a normal red scenario like you would do a million times end game. Thought Gabe defensively was really good. I thought a lot of our guys really competed on that end. Trae's tough. He's not the size of some of the bigger players like Luka or LeBron or Joker, but he knows how to manipulate a defense. He's a really good player.
JJ, you mentioned Gabe. You gave him the start tonight. What went into put him in the starting lineup, and how much was that matchup dependent? Going against Trae.
Yeah, it just felt like. And again, we debated back and forth. Do we want to play coverage? Do we want to be in switching? And I think he was 9 for 25. I think the thought process was, that staying out of coverage and out of drop, where he's just, throwing the ball over the place and getting 18 assists was not the right option. And then he gets 20. So, didn't do a great job of our Reds in general. Thought when we did it, it was solid and we kept people in front of us. But just too much. We talk all the time too. Is like if we're gonna, we always have the whole season. I've had switching groups, and if you still need a low man, and I don't think we were great with our low man tonight. Had a couple good low mans, but didn't have good low mans.
So you heard what JJ Redick had to say. JJ seems like this situation is really getting to him. I think JJ thought that this thing was going to be a lot easier than it actually ended up being. I really think so. JJ didn't realize just how much of a boneheaded team this Lakers team is. You see, last year when they were blaming the issues on Darvin Ham, people didn't really spend enough time focusing on the team itself. So now you get a JJ Redick who seems to be a worse coach than Darvin Ham, and he's really you heard what he said earlier in the season. I can't go on the court with them. I can't execute for them, and all that. He said there's some confounding basic basketball blunders that the team has made. Welcome to the Lakers. There was a play, like an inbound play in the second half where the Lakers were inbounding it. There were 3 players, and they were just like walking up the court. And the Atlanta Hawks player just went up there and stole it from him. Like the Lakers were in a different zone. And a lot of that has to do with coaching, because it's the coach's job to get these guys ready and focused. But also, we also got to talk about the players, because they're also professionals. They are also professionals, and it's up to them to also ensure that they're ready to go when these games kick off. So now the Lakers find themselves in a situation where they've lost 3 in a row. Now they're going to be going home to play against the Portland Trail Blazers, which should be a game that they should win, even though they're the 10th seed. But then they have two pretty feisty matchups coming after that. They're going to be facing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who embarrassed them less than a week ago and beat them by 29 points. And they're going to be going against Ja Morant's Memphis Grizzlies, who always seem to have the smoke and are ready to go at the Lakers. So there's a chance that if the Lakers come out there flat-footed, not focused, that they could get embarrassed again. You already hear that on ESPN, Michael Wilbon and these guys are talking about LeBron potentially going to the Golden State Warriors. They're already waving a white flag. They're already talking about what moves can the Lakers. We're already into it. 20-some games into the season, we're like, what moves can they make? But going into the season, we're like, well, they got Pat Riley on the bench. It's just the whole thing is a joke, and I am here enjoying every step of it. I am enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. People are sitting in the comment section, are you going to produce something else? Nope. I'm enjoying this story too much. So if you don't like the content we're producing, I suggest you tune off for the next week or so, because we're going to be producing a lot of this, because I'm enjoying this a lot, and our audience is enjoying it too. So these are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.